So the underwriting assumptions are much, much different than they were 12 months ago. So if you're a GP right now, you're like, oh, I should wait and see what happens. Don't do that. It is now time to get your education. There's a lot of fear right now in the market. I've talked to a lot of people, both prospective GPs and prospective LPs, or even people that have invested previously who are now they are on the sidelines. But they're both in the sidelines waiting to see what's going to come. Okay, I think this is a major mistake. What's coming is nothing but opportunity. And let me explain to you why I'm saying that. Number one, we're going to get opportunity. We're already starting to get discounted deals coming. That's an opportunity itself. But deals are already about 15, 20% down from March of last year, where the high point of the market. And that's simply for the reason I mentioned earlier, which is the lending environment is really hard right now. Lenders have pulled back, and the loan to values, the loan proceeds have gone down. Therefore, if you can borrow less, then prices are going down. And so as a result, sales volume is down because sellers still have expectations from last year, and buyers said, hey, the market has changed. My lending terms are different. I can't pay as much as more. And so there's a disconnect there. And that explains the lower volume. But then also there are people who have no choice. These are the NSGOs, and not so good operators. They don't have a choice. They can't say, oh, I really want my price from last year. I'm just going to wait it out. They can't afford to operate in the red. They're running out of money. They can't fund the expiring interest rate caps. They have to sell. Okay, so therefore opportunity is coming. Now, when you're getting into a new deal, look at how these deals are being underwritten right now. They're being underwritten, I would say, about 12 months ago. We were at I would say, towards the height of the market. The price was higher than ever. Cap rate was the lowest. Loan proceeds were the highest, okay? Within 12 months, we are now what I would consider toward the lower bottom of the market. Can the market go down a little bit lower? I suppose it could, but just keep in mind that the fundamentals of multifamily have not changed at all. That rental demand is just as high as it was before. We're not building any more affordable housing, so the fundamentals are just as high as they were before, right? So it's really the lending environment that has changed. And so you have to recognize that the stuff that's being bought right now is being bought towards the very lower end of the market. Now, normally these market cycles take like 5 to 7 years. They take slow. But because the Fed raised interest rates so quickly, okay, it basically sped up an entire market cycle. Instead of 7 years, it lasted 12 months. So you have to understand that anything that's being underwritten right now is being underwritten in the lower portion of the market cycle. That, of course, sounds and smells like opportunity, which it is. The problem is there's blood in the streets and everyone's running scared. And so now no one is investing, even though they should. That's when Warren Buffett invests, right? He invests when fear is at the highest. That's when he backs up the truck, okay? And when greed is everywhere, he backs away. Now, we had a greed about 12 months ago, okay, in March of 2022, the height of the market, and now it has swung to the other side. So it is now really the time not to retrench and to wait. It is now time to ask the question, how can I get involved? And how can I get involved as much as I possibly can? And you have to distinguish the deals that are being bought right now are completely different animals than they were 12 months ago. Now, they still have multifamily syndication in the name, I suppose, but they're underwritten in a completely different way. The loan to value is much lower. We have to raise much more equity now. The interest rate is super, super high, right? And the rent projections are probably much more conservative than they were 12 months ago. There's no one should be underwriting rent increases of 10% per year. It should be back down to where it was 2.5%, 3%, where it used to be. So the underwriting assumptions are much, much different than they were 12 months ago. So if you're a GP right now, you're like, oh, I should wait and see what happens. Don't do that. It is now time to get your education, right? This is why I shouted out the mentoring program earlier at the michaelblank.com/mentor. Just schedule that call and see how we can help you get into this game now. I think this environment is going to create more millionaires over the next 18, 24 months than we've had in a long, long time. Now is the time to get in. If you're an LP, don't sit on the sidelines. Get involved. Ask these questions, though. Definitely ask the operators these 9 questions. I think if you had asked any number of those questions to the Houston opportunity, you would not have invested. And now you are armed with those 9 questions. Ask those questions before you invest. But ask yourself, how can you get involved in this unbelievable asset class right now? So hopefully that was helpful. And I just want to remind you what to look out for. Again, these questions have always been on the table, but now there's some people that are getting burned And so you got to make sure you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I was talking to someone just recently about, and they're no longer in real estate. They used to be in real estate, but they lost their shirt in 2008. Well, what happened? Well, they got their ass kicked. And their conclusion was, all real estate bad. Okay, that is the wrong conclusion. First of all, real estate is not real estate. There's different kinds of real estate, and then the market cycles change. So don't just throw out multifamily because you read an article or two, or you heard a story or something like that, or there was maybe a capital call, or your distributions are slightly lower or non-existent for a period of time. Understand that any deal that you had up to this point is a completely different deal than anything that you might get into right now. So hopefully that gives you some perspective and some encouragement. Obviously, be cautious, but be looking for opportunity. Catch you next time.